The other day I built this awesome helicopter pad for the mansion. It looks pretty good, but this boat on the other hand, it doesn't look very good at all. So this was my first ever custom Lego boat, and I'm thinking about ordering some pieces from Bricklink to build a yacht, but I think before I do that, I want to try and upgrade this thing one more time. In addition to improving the Dalmatian, I'm also going to be working on the surrounding area, specifically the landscaping, the dock, and also the water. So here's the Dalmatian before the changes. Let's take a look at it after. Plenty of changes were made, and I actually really like the look of it now. First thing I want to say is that this is not a yacht, it is a ferry. Starting on the bottom here, I changed out this window and removed the snot-mounted black tiles. I also removed the railing that was created using those modified 1x2 dark tan plates and replaced it with these black fence elements here. That railing is continued with these ladder pieces that are mounted using that modified 1x1 brick, and we kept the roller skate on the front here, which represents a sports car. The nose of the ship is now fully tiled off. There's a couple life jackets there, and there is a ladder leading up to the second deck. I shortened the entire ship by approximately 1 brick, and as you can see, it can still load Speed Champion cars here at the mansion. I rounded out the front of the ship here using some modified plates. These should be tiled off with the macaroni tiles, but I don't have any in white. I also replaced the windscreen here, added a light bar above the windscreen, some curved slopes to add a visor, a horn, some quarter round tiles going around the sunroof, and tapering off the back. There's no longer the arched entryway there for the staircase, and that light gray color has been banished from the ship. It's now mainly white and black. Changed up these side walls here as well. Looks way better because I used a hinge brick to get that nice angle there, so the windows are seamless. There's only hinge bricks on the bottom right now because I only had 4 of them in my inventory, but once I get some more, I'll be able to connect the top. And on the back here, there's a really nice decoration, and that's on either side. I played around with the idea of creating a staircase for quite some time, but there just wasn't room and I couldn't really make it look good, so I decided to change it out to a ladder. There's actually a hole right there, and that's where the ladder sits. Now passengers can climb up the ladder to the second floor. The roof can be removed. There's just a few studs that hold it down in the spot. You can see the nice angled walls there. And then inside, I reduced the size of the couches. There used to be 2 couches that were like this. I actually made one an armchair, added some side tables, changed up the tiling to all light gray, and now the captain's chair is in the forward position beside the hole with the ladder access. There used to be some nice colored tiles on this deck here, but I think it's more realistic to have it probably all white or light gray like it is now. I didn't go with white just because some of the fixtures are white and they'd sort of get lost. I actually really like it now. It's pretty sick. It looks like a vintage ferry. Sort of the vibe I was going for originally, but I guess it just took me 2 different building sessions to get it to where I wanted it to go. With all of those changes, I think the Dalmatian is looking pretty good. It's like a vintage ferry. The owner of this island here is a collector of vintage boats. Now the big question is, do I have to construct a yacht? I think I want to construct a yacht just because I made this boat and now I'm pretty excited about building custom boats. So eventually I for sure want to build a yacht, but I don't think I'm going to prioritize it just because I have a mansion to build. So putting pressure on myself to build a custom Lego super yacht might not be the greatest idea because I don't think it's my top priority right now. And to be honest, with the new and improved Dalmatian, I think it sort of fills the void right now. Like, it actually looks sweet. However, this dock and the surrounding area and the missing trans blue tiles is really getting to me. So why don't we work on that next? First things first, I got to fix up this dock here. Originally, I actually had it at 16 studs wide. I've decided to reduce it to 8. It's the same design, but much smaller. Now, I have a bunch of exposed studs on the top of it, and it's dark tan plate. I am going to tile it off in dark orange because I have a lot of dark orange 1x2 tiles. And then I'm going to add a bunch of boat ties and things that people can grab onto when they're on the dock. And those I built with candlesticks. Dark tan candlesticks. So now that the dock is looking pretty good there, it's time to tile off all the water. So I'm out of the transparent blue tiles. The only ones I have are in use in the ocean. So I've decided to grab a 32 by 32 plate and strip all the tiles off of it. It all has to be stripped off in the future anyway, because eventually I want to add underlying black plate to give the water more depth. Now that I have all of those ready to go, I can start to add more detail to the water over here on the private island. Just putting down a copious amount of 1x2 tiles, essentially all the ones that we just took off, right? They are staggered, and I do have a little bit of a wave going there. I'm not going to do a full wave because I need the boat to sit flat on top of these tiles. Yeah, so I just got to finish up tiling on this side as well. You'll see that there's a row of studs that are exposed there. What I've decided to do is just pop those tiles off and bring those studs so they're sort of staggered, and then fill them in with 1x1 circular tiles, and I think it looks pretty darn good when it's all tiled off. Wow. Now that the water's all taken care of, it's time to move on to landscaping. So the first thing I have to do is move that light gray cement walkway over so that it's in line with the dock, and then actually expand the grass out. Rather than just having the grass go onto the sidewalk, I'm actually going to create a wall using masonry bricks going around the grass, and then top that with dark gray tiles and 1x4 jumpers. So I've got to do that exact same thing to the grass over here, so I'm just removing pretty much all of the plate and then putting down those masonry bricks. And I want to do an angled wall. So I'm using some hinge bricks there and creating an angle for the masonry wall. And I think that looks pretty sweet. Once those walls are constructed, I top those 1x4 jumper tiles with 1x1 studs in gold. And I think the gold is just a nice accent color. Then I've just got to finish up one more wall there that's up against the beach and the water. So we've got the fishing yacht, we've got the dock with the candlesticks for boat ties. The water looks absolutely great. Nicely squared off grass now, all bordered by the masonry bricks. Everything is just looking so clean and tidy. I'm really liking this area. I like the angle wall as well. The next thing I need to do is add some greenery, such as trees and bushes. So that's what we're going to do next. Before I start with the greenery, I just want to fix this up here. I've got some of these 1x2 tiles that come to like a harsh edge. I want to fix it up by replacing those 1x2 tiles with 1x1 tiles, and then also the quarter round tiles that give it a nice rounded edge. Just sort of tidy up the concrete around the entrance a bit there. So I wanted this area to have a nice clean hedge. I know I could build it using parts, but for right now I'm just going to use these molded pieces. That could potentially change in the future, but I actually don't mind using these. It's a classic piece. It's the dark green bush. Why not use them? You know what? It's Lego, and I think they actually look pretty good. But in this spot right here, I want to build a custom tree. So I've got my trunk for it there, and then around the base of it, I've decided that I'm going to put some flowers just to add a nice pop of color using those leaf elements and the pink flowers that I found on the pad wall. Now it's time to construct the tree. I've pre-made all my branches. It uses the limb elements and those leaf elements and some brown connectors. There's two different types of brown connectors, and they can get them at those interesting angles. So I just popped them on there. There's 9 total. That's 4 per layer, and then 1 that goes on the very top, which sort of caps it off and makes it look pretty good. I've got some more green space just between these doors here. I'm just going to add some flowers. This could change in the future, who knows. And the only thing I can fit by the garage door there is a bush. Just behind the fishing boat there, we've got some more grass. I've decided to use some of my flowered bushes there, which are custom designs, and then also those large pre-molded spruce trees. I like those large ones. They're an older product. I don't think they make them like that anymore. I'm just going to add one more leaf here to the top of that tree, and then it's time to tidy up the beach. I wanted to add a whole bunch of wedge plates in tan and dark tan, but I didn't have enough. But this is an island. It has a beach, so I think we got to add a couple palm trees as well. Now I've got to tidy up my entire Lego room. It's an absolute disaster, but first off, let's put this Speed Champion car back on the driveway there, and it's about to pull on to the Dalmatian ferry. Heck yeah, this place is looking pretty good. Here we go. It's the aftermath of today. But I gotta say, it looks pretty fantastic over here, and I'm loving the progress that we're making with the private island. Normally I leave landscaping duty for last because these palm trees and stuff are going to have to move because they're going to get in the way. But I love the landscaping that we've done. The tree looks really good. The bushes, the new square grass with the border of masonry bricks, the new and improved Dalmatian and dock, and then also the water as well. Loving the way it looks, everybody. Incredible. Had a fantastic day doing all this. It was awesome. Remember, like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Thanks for coming on by. Farewell.